All right, welcome. Today, we're going to take a quick pulse check on the Cardano ecosystem. And wow, did things heat up this past November. You know, you can think of the ecosystem like a little bonsai tree, and November was the month we saw all these strong new branches and vibrant leaves just popping up all over the place. So let's dive in. So what does a thriving ecosystem actually sound like? It's a great question, right? Because it's not one big loud explosion. It's more like a low, steady hum. You know, the sound of 1,000 different parts, big and small, all working together, all building and growing in sync. And that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. First up, we got to talk about the foundation. This is that crucial kind of under-the-hood work that makes everything else possible. It's like tending to the roots and making sure the soil is right for our bonsai tree. It's not always the most glamorous job, but it is absolutely essential for any kind of real healthy growth.
Iagon's new unified API is a perfect example of this. Now, if you're not a developer, just think of it like this. Before, every single builder had to kind of create their own custom tools just to get basic information from the Cardano blockchain. Now, with Iagon, they've built this universal toolkit that everyone can use. It's like giving every carpenter a perfectly standardized set of high-quality tools instead of making them forge their own from scratch. This just speeds everything up and makes it so much easier for new builders to come in and start creating.
And you know, it's not just about building new stuff. Check out this list from the Surge team. This is all about strengthening what's already there. When you see a term like major refactoring, that basically means that reorganizing the core of their code to make it way more efficient and easier to build on in the future. Things like smart retry mechanisms, that just means the system can handle little network hiccups on its own without crashing. The big takeaway here is that this deep technical maintenance is what allows the whole ecosystem to run smoother, faster, and handle a lot more stress without breaking.
So, with a strong foundation getting built out, what happens next? Well, this is where we start to see projects move from just being lines of code into the hands of the community. This is where those strong roots really start to sprout some visible growth.
Nuvola Drive is such a great illustration of this. Just look at their methodical progress. They've already been testing on Android and the web, and now they've officially kicked off closed testing for iOS. This step-by-step approach across all the major platforms, it shows a real focus on getting user feedback and nailing the experience before they go for a full launch. It's a sign of a mature project that's right on the edge of release. And you can really feel the weight of these moments in this quote from the Pulse team. They launched their mainnet in November, and they introduced something really genuinely new, the first ever yield tokenization platform on a UTXO-based blockchain like Cardano. So in simple terms, this lets you trade the future yield from your staked crypto today. It's a pretty sophisticated financial tool that's never been built quite this way before, and like they said, it marks one of the most important chapters for them.
Okay, this is where it gets really exciting. When you have the foundations in place and products are actually in users' hands, you start to see the ecosystem truly bear fruit. And that fruit, it comes in the form of some seriously impressive, record-breaking numbers. First up, just look at this number from Surf Protocol. In November alone, they hit 15 million ADA in total value locked. For any DeFi project, that's a massive milestone. It's a clear signal of trust and serious adoption from the community.
But it's not just about value getting locked in. It's also about value being created and sent back out. World Mobile announced they've now paid out over $1 million in rewards to their AirNode operators. I mean, that is tangible, real-world value being generated and shared with people all across the network. And this growth isn't just about the money. This chart shows the momentum behind those rewards. In November, World Mobile hit all-time highs in two critical areas: the number of users active on the network in a single day, and the total number of their hardware AirNodes out there in the real world. This tells us that both user engagement and the physical network itself are growing and fast.
Let's just circle back to Surf Protocol for a second, because that 15 million TVL number was just the headline. In that same month, they also became the top lending platform for borrowed ADA. They paid out over 110,000 ADA in rewards. They wrapped up a crucial security audit, and they were already planning for their next version. This shows the difference between a single lucky spike and real, sustained momentum on all fronts.
All this activity is fantastic, but how does it actually translate into direct returns for the people who are participating? Let's follow the money for a second and look at the actual flow of value. This table from Angel Finance is just a perfect, transparent example. We can see exactly how it works. They generated over 3,500 ADA in profit. Okay, so from that, 2,802 ADA is scheduled to be distributed directly to the token holders, while another 700 ADA is automatically put right back into the protocol to fuel future growth. It's a clear, simple, and really powerful cycle. And this is the key takeaway. Right here. Value isn't just getting locked up inside of protocols, it's actively flowing back to the people who support and participate in them. This creates this awesome virtuous cycle, and it is one of the most important signs you can look for in a healthy, self-sustaining ecosystem.
Okay, so we've seen foundational tech, we've seen user-facing apps, we've seen record-breaking milestones, and a clear flow of value. Let's pull all these different threads together and just ask, what does it all mean for the health of Cardano?
What this really shows us is that progress isn't just happening in one little area. No, it's happening everywhere, all at the same time. On one side of the coin, you've got the deep tech and infrastructure work from teams like Surge and Iagon, which gives us stability and the ability to scale up. And on the other side, you have the incredible growth and adoption being driven by apps people actually use, like Surf, Nuvola, Pulse, and World Mobile. They are two sides of the very same coin, and you absolutely need both for any kind of long-term success.
And that leaves us with one last fascinating question to think about. We've seen all these different parts of the ecosystem humming along, each one building its own momentum. With all these pieces moving forward at once, which one do you think will be the catalyst, the spark, that triggers the next big wave of growth for Cardano? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.